channel at YouTube, and definitely what's blasting in the background is Crowley's Whisper of the Evil. Gotta hear me, so I just turned it down. Anyway, again, and the reason I'm playing this is because as you can see on the title, it says everything unofficial, because obviously it's about either unofficial releases, counterfeits, bootlegs. Everything gets fucking shoved in this video. So in a way, I'm playing what I think is practically an unofficial release. And again, I can't show you the cassette since it's actually playing, but in my video, Unearthed Mail, which I pretty much showed that cassette, it's pretty much just a plain white cassette, no writing, nothing. And all the songs are pretty much just put on side A, side B. You can't even fucking tell which side is A or B. But they're all shoved on one side and leaving a whole bunch of silence. I tried to at least listen to the whole noise or everything to kind of see if maybe something else was tagged, like their Scream of the Death EP, but no, it's just fucking silence. But still, it's cool because of, again, the actual LP goes for like $149. It's ridiculous. Anyways, let's definitely get on to at least to what I would say would be first, just unofficial releases. To me, an unofficial release is something that's probably released by maybe a record label or something, but the band does not see any royalties from it. To me, that I would say is kind of unofficial because they don't see any money of it at all. Like, for an instance, to me, I really don't know. I don't know. Maybe, because again, I don't know if Corner ever got the royalties from the stuff that was released by Sanctuary, because obviously, even though it's released, it has the Noise logo on there, which was the original record label that released this, but it's also released by Sanctuary. Obviously, this is when Sanctuary bought out Noise. Obviously, I don't think any of the bands saw any royalties from these reissues that Sanctuary released. Maybe Creator probably got the royalties from it, but maybe a band like Corner, I don't know if they did. Would like to actually would be given at least some information or any on whether or not Corner actually did get any royalties from this. I know the band did reissue their this and some of their other albums as well. Just I think last year, somewhere around, but maybe 2013. I really don't know when they reissued them, but I know they did reissue them through their own website. But this is out of print as well. But this is because obviously everything that's now on Sanctuary is probably now hard to get, because I think the whole Sanctuary base is now defunct. Still moving on again, I'll say what is a good example of unofficial is the Metal Mind reissue of Satan's Court in the Act. Because of everything, because now if this album gets reissued, the band member still does not see any royalties from these. I know one of the guys at the Forces of Steel forum goes by the name Painkiller. He did an interview with I want to say I want to say Steve Ramsey. I think it was. I can't remember who, but he did a interview with one of the members, and he said that he does not see any royalties from the reissues at all. So to me, that and anything that was licensed through Roadrunner Records, any of those band members does not see any royalties at all from them. Pretty sad though. That's sad. Okay, and now let's go to like counterfeits. Now counterfeits are pretty much, you know, releases, or they're bootlegs, but they're ones that try to replicate the original release. Let's say an instance like the Pantera, Metal Magic. Says it's on Metal Magic Records, Pantera's record label back in the 80s. And again, looks like a official release, looks like it, but it's not. And definitely there's another hint for why this is definitely not a official release. And this is like one of the recent counterfeits from like 2012, 13 somewhere, is when it comes to lyrics. Okay. I have, yeah, here we go. Yeah, here we go. Here's the lyrics for, Tell Me If You Want It, but when you look at the lyrics for I'll Be Alright, it's still the same lyrics for Tell Me If You Want It. So obviously, the person just passed almost the same lyrics for the songs that he can't find lyrics for. So he plastered just another song's lyrics on there. It's definitely quite bootleg-ish, but still, sound quality wise, definitely I wouldn't say it's bad. It's very rough sounding. It's definitely a vinyl rep, and it's just, you know, just rough sounding. But to me, that's another example of a counterfeit. Another one is my Mandator, I don't know how else to pronounce it, but Initial Velocity. It says it's released on Disaster Records, which was the label that originally pressed this album. But again, look at it. Again, let's let me get this fucking thing out. Fuck. Here we go. See, and lyrics. But obviously this is probably a counterfeit because of me looking at the discs. Some of these, the printings, whatever, very look printish. It's like they almost look digitized. And again, it I don't know, it could be a counterfeit, could be a bootleg, I really don't know. I just, it's always bugged me, but the one thing that I found out about it, like again, is it's got the matrix number saying USDM 4343 Mandator 19. And I asked some of the members on the Heavy Metal Rarities Forum about that, and they all said that I, for one, have a counterfeit or a bootleg. Definitely not an original release, and some say, and I've looked this online, that Disaster Records did press this on CD when, according to Metal Archives, saying that they never pressed it on CD, only on vinyl, not even cassette. So, to me, those at least for an examples for counterfeit releases. Bootlegs are pretty much, again, like Pantera's Power Metal. This is not on Metal Magic Records. This was officially released through Metal Magic Records on CD. Cassette as well. Most of the original first 3 Pantera albums were also released on cassette officially, but CD, no. But this is a bootleg on some very unknown record label. Obviously it's a Shock Rock Records. And again, sound quality as well. It sounds like it was taken straight from the CD press. But everything again, again, look at that. lyrics and everything. It looks practically a, you know, quality printing and everything. But it is indeed a bootleg. But it's actually a good sounding bootleg. It's not like those fucking Revenge of True Metal bootlegs which sound like complete crap. Still moving on. Obviously this is a bootleg. This is Matt Butcher's Metal Meat, which was released through some unknown fucking bootleg record, Strike Force Records. And obviously it gives you the date when this was released or made, 2008. And obviously the person went out to put the barcode there, and it said it was made in Spain. Where does most of the CD bootlegs come from? Maybe Spain, but most of the time you tend to find a lot of these CD bootlegs that come out of Greece. And again, obviously this is probably the only bootleg that I have that is actually pressed on a CDR. And sound quality wise, sounds like a bootleg. This is one that really does come off the set. It sounds like it was taken from a bad MP3 rip. It sounds like shit. And again, as well, it goes to puts the you know, band member's name, and we get this out here to also show that this, and again, it feels like printing paper, not you know, printing paper, not actual paper, but photo paper, whatever. And again, pure bootleg. Yeah, it's definitely shining through, but if I turn it off. And this as well. Oh yeah, I know, it's having a hard time, but again, it's just glowing through. Again, obviously it's a bootleg, sounds like a bootleg, and plus you can't even normally find bootleg releases of this. And I've heard about that this was released on bootleg, but I never came across a bootleg copy until I think it was last year, 2013, you know, somewhere around then. And I came across it on eBay, and I'm like, well, there's a fucking bootleg copy. And we check it out, because mostly during that time on eBay, it was hard to actually find that record. Original presses on Metal Enterprises. It's you can never find it. Every time it pops up, it's usually a bid, and it's and to me, I don't want to waste my time on bids, but still, when that popped up, I'm like, fuck it. It wasn't a bid, but actually, I had to have my brother actually pick this one up for me, because again, I didn't have a fucking account with eBay or anything, but still. Yeah, I kind of had him bite the dust for it. Or bite the bullet. Still. But then after I got that, now that the original LP just pops up on Discogs all the time. When it wasn't on Discogs before that. But still, those are my examples for at least bootlegs. And as to me, again, I don't know if this is really an official release. It's definitely a different record label. It's not Electric Ladyland, even though the person definitely used the back cover of the original LP, but it's through, if I can get it, Blitzkrieg Cassettes. Seems like a legit label. Seems like a legit label. Looking on Discogs, or seeing some of the releases, they released also some most like black metal or anything that's a cult-ish, you know. I guess Blitzkrieg Records will release, but this is the only traditional heavy metal sounding release that has probably released through the label. And again, as you can hear through the speakers, it's definitely not black metal or anything. This is just straightforward heavy metal. Definitely in this, you know, as you can hear, but still, great stuff. Still, that's pretty much my examples for unofficial releases. hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if you dug it, definitely give it a thumbs up. If you did not like this video, definitely give it a thumbs down. It's your choice. Still, this is Every Thrash saying, I am out.